Hello there.
Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Economics Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on this fine Wednesday night. Another great episode of The High Ground, episode 88. Ooh, we're so close to episode 90. We're going to have to do something special for episode 90. I'm still thinking about it. Let me know. Let me know if you guys got some good ideas. Um, yeah, episode 90 I think will be pretty cool. So that will be what, in a couple weeks? So still November. Um, Technically, we won't get to episode 100 in this year, right? So, episode 90 might be the one to celebrate. So, yeah. Again, thank you so much for joining me here. So I was a couple of minutes late because my webcam decided to just kill over. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I actually had to restart it several times until hopefully it started working right now. So I hope that you guys will be able to see me throughout the stream. It was super weird. So like 2 nights ago, we actually had a pretty severe thunderstorm here in the area, and we actually lost power. We never lose power. It's super weird. So we actually lost power for a few minutes, but there was a couple of dips in power too. So me being the overly cautious man that I am, I did turn off my computer and things like that. But I don't know. I'm wondering if the camera still got a bad hit. Because yeah, it just was not responsive like at all. But I managed to get it working literally like 3 minutes ago. So hopefully it stays working, and if not, well, the gremlins got to us. But again, I hope that you're doing very well on this Wednesday night. Um, November 6th, which is the day after the 5th of November. Remember, the 5th of November. Oof. What a couple of days, right? What a couple of days it has been. Um, it would very much seem that we got a new president. All right. So new president of the United States. New old. I don't know how to say it. Re-elected, I guess. Um, non-consecutive terms. So Donald Trump is the president of the United States again. Um, that's all I got to say about that. It is what it is. I guess the decision, has been made, and the votes are in and all that stuff. So I guess it's official. Donald Trump is the new president. Like I said, new old, right? I mean, it's kind of weird. Um, Re-elected president, let's call it. So yeah, that's it. Um, that is the result of the elections that happened yesterday. And yeah, I kind of feel like this one's went pretty fast. That we got the results pretty fast this time around. But I guess because it is a more of a digital era. I'm assuming that all of the counting and stuff like that is done almost. I wouldn't say instantly, but a lot more fast than before. But yeah, okay. That's all the politics we're gonna cover in this show. This is not definitely not what we do here on the channel. But it is a historical event. Kind of have to acknowledge it. And it just happened. So there is that. And all right. So again, I hope that you're having a great week. Great hump day. And if not, well, the weekend is just around the corner, right? We can almost smell it. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then it's all a breeze all the way down to Friday and Saturday. So hopefully you guys are getting some rest, getting some good activities going on. The weather is finally turning cooler down here in Texas, which they took their time. They took their sweet time to sort of hit us with the below 80s, temperatures. So it's been nice the last couple of nights. Last night I was actually just out there in the backyard, like because I actually wanted to be out there, believe it or not. So yeah, it's a nice cool night. Hopefully it keeps going like that because yeah, I'm very much ready for cooler weather. um yeah, I know some spots have been in cooler weather for like months now, but not down here. So We got an early message here from our brother Elijah Flex saying, "Let's go, mi general." Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. We got Marta saying hi. Thank you. Again, thank you to everybody joining me. I know that it's been, like I said, kind of crazy couple of days, but I hope that you guys are staying safe out there. I hope that you are staying warm, depending on where you are. Luis in the house saying hello, General Kenobi. What's going on? And thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. Okay, so we we've gotten some traction, right? We gotten a couple of new things going on in Star Wars world, and I wanted to uh, I wanted to acknowledge first of all that we have a new Skeleton Crew trailer, right? Technically, this is what the second trailer, and we did get, we got a lot more Jude Law FaceTime this time around. I feel. Let me pull it up. So, in case you haven't seen it, it's fun. It's like I said, it is different. I did a first time watch here on the channel. It's yeah, you can tell they're going for something different. But there's a video, trailer reaction here in General Economics Bunker channel. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, what do you guys say? And we take a look. What have you guys seen it? Haven't seen it? Let me know. But I think we can play it here, hopefully without being taken down. It is a trailer, so I don't see why this would be an issue. Okay, so just in case you haven't seen it, so this is the second newest trailer for Skeleton Crew. Let's check it out. A principal's office sort of setting. Ooh, that drama, classic. All right, definitely a different kind of music, right? Different vibe altogether. So there you go, taking off in a ship, and off they go to get lost in space. I mean, everything looks gorgeous, by the way. That really gives me, Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. See, Old Republic, I'm kinda hoping they mean old Republic, you know? Jude Law, of course. Poor little Dumbo. So an actual song, as on the soundtrack, with lyrics and stuff. So, new droids, of course, gotta have it. We got Suburbia for some reason. New critters, love it. I really like the scene because those X-wings were shooting at something. Now this is interesting here. That's I can't wait for people to start taking that apart. Alright, so, that's just in case you guys have not seen that newest trailer for Skeleton Crew, coming up here in less than a month, December 3rd, I believe, is the premiere. So, and I think we're gonna get 2 episodes if I remember correctly. Actually, I think this show is here. Maybe not. Yeah, 2 episodes premiere streaming December 3rd. So, that's what it says right there. So, yeah, very much a different vibe. Very much so, right? Right off the bat with the music, very 80s, I would say. Very adventure type of, I know we've talked about it here before we keep referencing, back to like the Goonies and stuff. Um, I did get a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy trailer vibes, right? So that I love Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a very very fun movie. A set of movies. I think all three were pretty good. Um, so they're trying really really hard to let us know that this isn't another um, Skywalker saga type of thing, right? That while there is some serious settings on it, probably not to be taken super seriously. I did love the fact that we got X-wings shooting at something, um, and we got a lot more Julon. That's always good, I guess. He's definitely going to be the what the name, the household name, right? That draws in the crowd. Um, I am curious if that line when they say, "Oh, where did you find the old Republic credits?" If they're talking about like really old Republic, like in the game, like thousands of years before this. Um, it would be pretty cool if that ship is somewhat known to us, like it belongs to somebody we kind of know from that period of time. I think that would add a very, very cool extra layer of connectivity, right, to the story. I may be asking too much, of course. I usually am, but it would be pretty fun if that's the case. Overall, yeah, I mean, it looks great. I don't really think any of the shows have ever looked bad, right, for Star Wars. They all look gorgeous. They all look great. Um, the settings look amazing. The aliens look amazing. The ships look amazing. There's a couple of scenes here, on asteroids and moons and stuff like that, and it all looks great. So I have no doubts that overall, it's going to be a very very good looking show. Um, I still let me see if I can catch it here because I still kind of bump a little bit too much with the whole like suburbia, setting. Uh, let's see if I can pull it up. Anyway, but you guys know what I mean, right? It's like the typical, American neighborhood from like the 80s and 90s. Um, that's still, yeah, here it is. It still kind of takes me out of it a little bit, you know. Um, I don't know. It just doesn't look very Star Wars to me. Of course, this could be a whole front for something else, or it could be a flashback. I don't know, but I just kind of feel like this looks very, very earthly. Um, Again, nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it just makes me feel like they were trying really, really hard to copy the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer. Remember that? The trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 basically started off in a neighborhood, right, that looks just like Earth, but then it turns out they're all like animal, like hybrid animals, like human animal hybrids, right, created by the High Evolutionary. But it was very much set in a typical like American, neighborhood setting. So again, that's where my mind goes when I see this. It's like they're really, really trying to be like, hey, you like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, right? Well, check it out. This has a lot of similar stuff, visually, thematically, um, I don't know, story wise, maybe. So yeah, that's why this one kind of still takes me out of it. I kind of wish they would not have included it this time around for this trailer. I think we saw a little bit more of it on the first trailer, but yeah, here it is. And again, I still have that's kind of my gripe, visually with it. We got Jeff Star Wars Addict 77 saying hello there. What's going on, brother? Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Does he fly also with a feather? Oh, that'd be cool, right? Imagine. But yeah, so like I said, it looks fun, it looks different. um I don't really feel anything wrong per se. I don't have high expectations of it, aside from I want it to be fun. Okay, I'm kind of done with the drama. I'm kind of done with the over series that hasn't really been very successful, right? Lately with Disney Plus Star Wars shows. So I just want this one to be fun. There's got to be some high stakes at some point, right? There's got to be a bad guy or set of bad guys. It can't all be, just the kids having fun everywhere all the time. So there will be, enemies. There will be a nemesis, factor somewhere. It seems like the pirates is where they're going to, which is cool. I'm all down for some nice pirate action. I think we haven't really had that since Rebels. Um, well, maybe since Clone Wars, right? Technically, anyway. Yes, there is definitely expectation that Hondo Onaka will make its live action debut, and why not? Why not? He's such a fun character. Um, he's very diverse. You can use him in many different settings. So why? Yeah, I don't see why not, right? Have fun. That's kind of what I'm really hoping for here with the new show. Um, Okay, so another thing that I wanted to cover is everybody's favorite game, Outlaws. All right, so Outlaws, apparently they're like, you know what, we acknowledge we didn't do great. We do have an update, a combat update coming up, and that's gonna make you love us again. Which I don't know. So they had a creative director exit, right? um, Ubisoft, and there's a new guy at the helm, and he's acknowledging, yeah, we had low sales number, um, and they're trying to focus on combat, stealth, and controls, and they really want to improve on that, right? So there is an update coming, which they hope improves the game. I don't know. I haven't played it. I'll be honest with you, I don't really have a desire to play it at this point. I think the the how can I say it? The excitement of it had kind of already passed. Um, I've heard mixed things here and there. It's not on my top of my list or priorities. I don't have much time, to even be playing video games at all. So I'm not gonna play one that I'm not like excited about. So yeah, I'll play it eventually, in a year or so, once everything has worked out and once we have all the bugs and updates out of the way. Then I might play it. But for now, I don't really feel the need to spend money on it. But for those of you that have played it, let me know. Let me know how it is. Let me know if you think these updates are gonna do, or I should say, are going to undo, some of the damage done during the launch phase. Um, do you guys think that Ubisoft should do more than just these updates? Right. Again, I defer to you because I haven't played it. Um, I like that it exists. More Star Wars video games is always a good thing in my mind. But yeah, it definitely seems like there was very poor execution on this one. Again, they acknowledged it by saying, yeah, we definitely had lower sales than expected. So let me know if you think that the price tag on it is worth it, and if you think that once the updates roll out, especially, I want to know if you guys think if they did a good job or it was just more of the same. Okay, so Disney Plus released a new documentary about the insanely talented John Williams, and I just watched it over the weekend. It was pretty good. I have to admit, me personally, that's just me again. I felt it actually dragged on a little bit. Uh, Maybe it was because of the way it was cut or the way it was narrated. I'm not entirely sure, but there was a good portion of it that felt very repetitive. And let me clarify what I mean. It kind of started being formulaic in the sense that they're like, okay, this year he did this and it was amazing, and then people will talk how amazing he is, and then okay, the next year he did it again and again and again and again, right? I understand. That's how John Williams is, right? Like he's hit after hit after hit for decades, right? Iconic music, a single one of his creations, single one of his musical pieces could be, anybody else's like life achievement, but this dude just keeps cranking them out like pancakes. Um, so and it's insane. But what I mean is just the style of the documentary. I kind of felt they could have varied that a little bit, to tell the story. Um, Very cool information. I love the fact that they put in, that they added, things like the home videos for Steven Spielberg. I love that. I felt that that definitely added, a level of like historical archiving, to it. To see them, so young, and to see them work on everything that later turned out to be epic, and how Steven Spielberg was just completely um, confident, right? Every single time with John Williams, he's like, nope, that's it. You're the guy, and you're gonna be the guy forever. And it actually played out to be true, right? Um, I would have liked to seen more George Lucas. If you guys haven't seen it, spoiler, sorry. There's not a whole lot of George Lucas in the documentary. He's in it, obviously. He has to be, um, but it's not much. It's really not much. It's only a few scenes, and so yeah, it's one of those things. Like I said, maybe I'm just being too picky on it. But I would have liked to seen a little bit more George. Maybe George didn't want to do it, right? Maybe he's like, Disney, I'm done with you guys. I don't want to film anything for you. But I'm sure they could have grabbed, from archival footage, and they got plenty of resources to fill in the gaps. Um, it was pretty interesting, obviously, to know a lot about his life, his upbringing. He was basically born to be a musician, right? And his relationships, with his wife, and then his second wife, his kids, all of that stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see how active he still is. He's what, 91, 92, I forget right now. Um, and let's just be honest, he's not gonna be around for long, and that one's gonna hurt. All right, that one's gonna hurt because this dude is a genius. I don't know what other word to use to express it. We all know it. We all kind of take it for granted, right? Just when you see the name John Williams, we know it's gonna be epic. Like we don't even dare to think to question it, right? It's just a given. It's gonna be awesome. Whatever he does, it's amazing, and it becomes part of the fabric of cinema and of like our conscience, like uh mind, when it comes to recognizing some of the art. So yeah, I'm sad that we're gonna get to see a world without John Williams fairly soon, right? Again, the man is 90 something, so that's just the passage of time. But just to think about how much stuff he's actually done, how much he has accomplished, and how closely things like Star Wars and ET and Schindler's List and et cetera, like how close some of those are to each other and how far away at the same time some of them are. So he has just been, a creative, uh, massive force for the past, few decades, right? 40, 50 years at this point. So I don't know, it's one of those things that I guess it doesn't really click until you see it, presented to you and be like, oh yeah, on 76 he did this, on 77 he did this, on 78, like pretty much every year or every couple of years there's some like major accomplishment for him. And like I said, every one of his like songs, or not songs, but I don't know what to call them, pieces, right, of music creation, could be anybody else's like lifetime achievement, right? Like if anybody else, if they hit that once, right, that would be it. Like that would be peak, right? But this man just keeps cranking them out like nothing, and so it's just incredible, right? It's impressive, um, and how much it's part of the culture, and uh, how much crap he actually got for it, because the I guess the old school, right, like classic symphonies, they're like, no, we don't play that garbage. We don't play that movie soundtrack garbage. But now, right, fast forward a few years, and they're like, oh no, we love this stuff. Why? Because the audience loves this stuff, right? And that's how you keep the music alive. That's how you keep the symphonies alive, right? And in front of people and in front of new people, right? Every few years. So it was interesting to see how they came around, right, to that. Also, again, it definitely helps that he has been creating this type of work for 50 years or so. So a lot of the current members of the symphonies, they all grew up with his music, right? So for them, it's a no-brainer that they would want to play with him, or they would want to play a piece created by him. So um I think that the thing that shocked me the most is that he still creates concerts like concertos. He still makes music that is actually not related to movies, which I don't understand when. Like, when does the man have the time to sit down and be like, okay, this is not going into a movie, this is purely music for an orchestra, right? Or for a violin, or for et cetera, et cetera. Because he's made plenty of them. And so to sit down and write a masterpiece like that, again, that it's not your main product, right? Like, it's not your main thing that you're known for. He just wants to make music, and he's like constantly making music. It's insane. So I was very surprised to learn about that. How he, through the years, he's still composing just music, right? Not a soundtrack, not a theme for a character, just music, and it's impressive, to be honest, to say the least, right? I mean, this guy's in a whole other level. I don't know I don't know anything about music. First of all right, let me start off by saying that I have absolutely zero musical education. um, but I am hard pressed to think of who could be uh, a similar, composer, uh, currently or even in the past, right? Um, it's just like I said, he's just on like a genius level, right? And it's great to see that they're still making documentaries about him. He was in it, right? I mean, like currently, right? Like John Williams in 2024 was in the documentary. He's still, again, he's very much active. He's very much, still creating, still playing concerts. It's nuts. I do wish I would have seen him at any point, right? Even just to be in the same room with him, let alone a concert. A concert would be amazing. And if anybody out there in California, has ever gone, let me know. I would love to hear, that kind of story. Let me see. Oh, I'm falling behind on the chat. Um, we got the Nerd Squadron in the house saying hello there. What's going on, brother? Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate you. Hey, look who it is. Crafting on Ilm saying such a beautiful documentary. He has such a positive outlook on life. Dude, he just loves life. He loves music. Like, it's insane, right? It's almost borderline craziness. Hey, what's going on? Joseph saying, hey, what's up, brother? Appreciate you joining the stream, man. Thank you, thank you. Also, congrats on Stranger Things Day. Crafting on Elm says, I love his perseverance and love from film scores. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, right? I kind of loved how they showed him kind of being, sort of put down, like sort of, looked looked down upon, right? Because, oh, you play film scores, right? That's not real music. And then through the years, right, kind of have him like turn that around. It's kind of crazy. Nerd Squadron says his music makes me feel some type of way. It's one thing when a movie makes you feel so immersed, but when his music plays, damn, that takes it to a whole new level. And it's kind of crazy that you say that, because that's almost verbatim what Steven Spielberg would say, right? He's like, yeah, I think I have a great movie, uh, and then I hear it I see it and hear it with John's score, and I'm like, this is way better, right? Like this was just taken to a whole other level I didn't even consider possible. Yurt, says Pat the Bunny Collector. What's up, cuz? What's up, cuz? Says Pat the Bunny Collector. Crafton Ilum says he sees the music and feels the scenes. Yeah, I love those behind the scenes when he's just like, oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this, and he just gets on his piano and he throws. Well, for Jaws, for example, it was what, 3 notes, 5 notes, something like that. Um, and then he gets very complicated for um, man, I'm blanking out. Strange Encounters, and then kind of to see that process, right? Like how he tries to make them all different, and yet they all sort of have that weight, have that, like I said, that just genius, right? To each theme that he creates, how he individually, right, created a theme for pretty much one of the every main character within Star Wars, right? Although I have to say that was, under the direction of George, right? Like George specifically said, I want the music to be linked to the character, and then to see him, double down on it once the prequels, came back, or sorry, the sequels came back. um it's kind of nuts. Crackton Williams says Hans Zimmerman is a great film score composer, but John Williams is his own. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like he's he's his own tier. Like he's like S tier, and you're right. Hans Zimmerman is great, but I'm just saying, like, so, like, I, I can't think of anybody else that's been doing it for so long, so successfully, right? And that people in general, like I would say, pretty much around the world, like immediately recognize, right? Uh, I don't know any other like orchestra, composer, right? I don't, but we definitely know John Williams. Elijah saying he's definitely our modern day Beethoven. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I was thinking about that while watching the documentary. I'm like, dude, he's definitely like our most important composer, right? Elijah saying his music experience all on its own. Yeah, dude. Like I said, I would have loved to have experienced it, live. I realized that it's becoming harder and harder. And then, like I said, in a few years, that's just not going to be possible anymore, right? Again, nothing against him. He's just, he's an older gentleman. He's above 90 years old. So come on, I mean, realistically, he probably doesn't have 10 more years, right? He probably has only a few more. Hey, what's going on? Janine saying, hello, nerds. Just got home in time. Just got home just in time. Man, I am dyslexic tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Pause for effect. So yeah, let me know, Bunker Bunch, have you already seen the documentary? Maybe I'm spoiling everything. um, but yeah, it's definitely good. It's definitely worth the watch. Like I said, there's plenty of stuff that I didn't know, and I'm not a John Williams, connoisseur by no means. Um, of course, I know his music, but it was very interesting, like I said, to see his upbringing, to see his family dynamics. That was one thing that I noticed, since he was, or he is still always working, right? You could tell, and at some point they basically say it, right? That kind of everything else took a backseat to his work, right? And that, at least for a period of time, seems like that included his children, right? So again, it's just interesting, right? Everything that goes on, uh everything that has to be sacrificed, right? Everything that has to go right and has to go wrong too, for us to get, like we were saying, for us to get the greatest composer of our time. So kind of nuts. Also, I wanted to touch on this. So, sad news. Greg Hildebrand, artist, has passed away. So, he created obviously very, very memorable pieces. This is a good. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Stop it. Okay. So yeah, obviously this is a great, great example of it. and yeah, many more works of art. Obviously, we know him for a lot of the Star Wars illustration he has done, but yeah, he passed away also this week. So again, let me know if you already watched the documentary. Again, my gripe is that I felt it got a little bit repetitive for a good chunk of time, but the information in it is great. Like I said, I absolutely loved the home movies, shot by Steven Spielberg, and how he's just going around filming everybody and sort of like being a historian, right, of the creation of incredible pieces, and incredible films. So I actually love that. Niner says Elijah, and he says Pop Craft and Nerd Squadron saying hi to everybody. Appreciate you. So yeah, again, let me know what you guys think. Definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth the watch. A lot of good information, a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Like I said, um, it's it's super impressive. Again, just to see all of the actually to see all of the work he had already done. Before he ever met Steven Spielberg, right? He had done a ton of stuff already. He had done jazz. He had done like some music scoring also. Um, And I mean, he was like 40 something by the time he met Steven Spielberg, which again is kind of nuts, right? Because they've been working together for like 40 years. Uh, so to think that he was, pretty much a middle aged man by the time he actually found film, scoring to be his niche, right? To be his like calling. It's kind of crazy to think, right? It's kind of crazy that he was basically already married, already had kids, already, had been doing a ton of work in Hollywood, all that. And then somebody was like, "Hey, you should score this film with an orchestra, right?" Or well, that was kind of his call, right? But what I'm saying is, he wasn't a young man when he finally found, his calling, his niche for what would make him so famous and so legendary. So I thought that was very very interesting. And like I said, I just kind of wish we would have gotten a little bit more George Lucas on it. I felt that was very light, very very light. Um, since obviously one of his most notable piece of work is Star Wars. But like I said, that might just be me. So, how are we feeling about Skeleton Crew? What do you guys think? I showed the trailer here earlier. I'm just kind of curious. I haven't really heard any like polarizing, opinions really. e- Everybody seems to be kind of on the same page. They're like, yeah, it's more for kids. It looks fun. Not expecting much for it. And I kind of feel like that's a good thing, you know? I'm kind of leaning towards um that is a good thing because we're not putting all these like crazy expectations on the show. We know we want it to be fun, right? And I really hope it is fun. Um but that's about it. We know it's going to be different um, because they've been telling us from the reveal of the title, I guess, like a few years back, that hey, this is something different. This is more towards kids. This is more adventure type. And to be honest, I'm down for it. I kind of feel that that's what we need right now, right? After Acolyte, we could use a bit of a palate cleanser. All right. Um, whether you loved or you hated the Acolyte, it was intense. All right, the fandom got rowdy. All right, it was an intense period of time. So I'm actually very much looking forward to the fandom. Just enjoying something for what it is, having fun with it. Hopefully, an added bonus would be if kids actually like it. Then hey, all the better, right? We get to bring in some new fans into the franchise. But like I said, I'm actually very much okay with it not being like super super over the top or super super serious looking or you know uh, not even like super exciting. If I'm being honest, that's me personally. I'm very much okay with everybody saying, you know what, it looks fun, it looks different. I'm gonna watch it, and we'll take it from there. So that's kind of how I want to treat Star Wars from now on. Trying to curb expectations. The next big thing we have um, next year, is Andor season 2, and unfortunately on that one, I think everybody has super high expectations with good reason. Don't get me wrong. Andor season 1 is a incredibly written show, and I think we're gonna get what we want for season 2. Maybe not all of it, okay? Because again, it's very hard to please everybody, especially in the Star Wars fandom. But I think we're gonna get a pretty solid lead up to Rogue One. So skeleton crew again. I'm not expecting a whole lot of connective tissue. Yes, I do want Hondo and Aka to pop out, and either help them or double cross them first and then help them. Whichever way he does it, it's gonna be fun. I would love again to see Hondo and Aka live action. But if it doesn't happen, that's fine too, because they're supposed to be out in far away. Although we did see a few X-wings flying by again, shooting at something. I want to know what they were shooting at. Um, and you know the whatever place they were recognized Old Republic credits, so they can't be that far, right? They're not. I doubt they're in Peridia, is what I'm trying to say. I doubt that they went all the way to the other galaxy. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think they're still here in the Star Wars galaxy, just maybe in a very unexplored sector, or something like that. Okay, let me catch up here with the chat. Um, Pop the Bounty Collector says, I'm excited. What's up, Flex? Jedi Niner says, Pop the Bounty Collector. And Jedi Niner says, it looks cute. Yeah, exactly. It looks good. It looks fun. Um, like I said, the aliens look great. The ships look amazing. Some of the settings, that we got on the trailer, they look gorgeous. So visually, I'm pretty sure it's gonna do amazing, right? Again, every show pretty much has looked very, very good, right? In its own way. Okay. In its own way, they've all looked great. So visually, I don't think we're gonna be disappointed, right? Story, again, I don't think we're expecting much, so should be fun story. Um, okay, and then so we we know actually we are gonna get a little bit more of a view of Andor and I'm blanking out. Andor and Mando and Grogu movie, the Mandu movie, because it seems that they're gonna be showing some stuff at the D23 in Brazil, I believe. I don't know if that's already happened or will happen. Let's check it out here quickly. But there was a note saying that it will happen. That we are gonna get some new stuff. So looking forward to it, and hopefully they don't reveal too much. If I'm being honest, again, it's been kind of it's been kind of spoilery every time we get a new trailer, right? So I'm kind of hoping this time around to try to just show some fun stuff, but not key pieces or plot points, especially for the movie, especially for the Mando movie. Um, because I think that one they need to keep a little bit under wrap as much as they can. We're still 2 years out, right, from the movie, so to me it doesn't make too much sense to be showing a whole lot of stuff right now. But who knows, right? It's Disney. They want to guarantee success, so I can also see them showing a bunch of stuff, right? But like I said, I'm really, really hoping they go for the less is more route, because I kind of need that. And then um, and then yeah, we keep hearing stuff about the Ray movie. If it happens, great. If not, oh well. I'm kind of half expecting it not to happen anymore. Again, if it does, that's gonna be super, super cool. Um, but I'm not really having my hopes up that much, and so I it seems like every other day we get a news saying, yeah, it's happening, and then the next day it's like, no, it's done, it's canceled, and then they're like, no, it's not canceled, it's still going, just slower. um so yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up that way, and I'm pretty sure we already missed the opportunity for it to come out in 2026. So I'm expecting it to be delayed, if nothing else. Um, but as I mentioned, it's something that I will watch, obviously, if it comes out, and if it doesn't, well, it's kind of saw it coming, right? Let's see. Let me see if I can show this. Okay, yeah. So at D23 Brazil, there is a list of projects supposedly that will be shown. So it's pretty good, right? So MCU, we got Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Born Again, Captain America, Brave New World. For Star Wars, of course, we got Andor season 2, the Mandu movie. So it seems like they're the main. They seems to be a Tron Ares exclusive, to the show. Mufasa, Zootopia 2, Snow White, Lilo and Stitch, and Ilio, which I don't know what that is. Um, so should be pretty good. I think that's coming up this weekend, probably. I don't see a date here. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be good to see, a lot of those projects moving forward. Um, the MCU, after Deadpool, they definitely need to pull another win. Otherwise, they're gonna lose momentum pretty bad. Um, Fantastic Four looks great. Captain America looks fun. We will never get another, Winter Soldier, I don't think. If we do, oh man, amazing. But I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Um, and then Daredevil, we kind of knew it was coming. That show, I think, is going to be a little bit in trouble because it's going to have to differentiate itself from the Netflix one. And I think people are going to be expecting to be a continuation of the Netflix, and it's kind of not. It's kind of its own thing. So we'll see. We'll see if that actually ends up hurting it. I'm kind of leaning towards it will. So for Star Wars again, Andor season 2, which has pretty much wrapped up, right? So it will come out in less than a year. They're just making us wait for it, which is not nice. And of course, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, getting kind of close to wrapping up, right? By the end of the year, they should be just about wrapped up, and uh, should still be on schedule to be released in May of 2026. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make their most effort, right, to keep that date, because they need to put Star Wars back in theaters. I've said it many times. I'll say it many more until we actually get a Star Wars movie in the theaters. Of course, next year we got Star Wars Celebration in Japan. So by that point, the movie would have wrapped up. They're probably in post productions at that point, and so we should get a pretty good, sneak peek off of it. And their season 2, it's got to be way more than done at that point. So I'm hopeful that we're gonna get to see quite a bit of Andor season 2 in Japan. Um, so there is, oops, I was actually watching a YouTube channel that does a lot of interviews, um, and it's a Mexican channel, and they actually had Diego Luna on one of their uh, most recent episodes, and he confirmed there that he is gonna go to Tokyo. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm pretty excited to see him out there in Celebration Japan. Um, him and I are best friends, so we're gonna go out for drinks. Try to find tacos in Japan. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be super fun. So I'll let you guys know how that turns out. We'll probably drink, too much. I would have said tequila, but it's probably gonna be hard to find. So probably sake. We'll probably defer to sake, but it's gonna be a very fun time. And I think he's having fun now. So I think he's enjoying going to all these conventions, and being, interacting with the fans and all that stuff. So Japan is going to be very fun. He's going to be out there. It's going to be great. I'm pretty sure, it's going to be one of the highlights of the show. Whatever sneak peek we get to see for Anders season 2. But we'll have to wait for D23 Brazil coming up. Let's see what comes out of it. What kind of clips they actually show and how long they are too. So like I said, I'm curious. Andor season 2, they got all kinds of footage by now. Uh, the Mandu movie, not as much, right? Because they're still wrapping up. So what they show us could not necessarily end up being in the movie, but still, we definitely want to see it again. That movie has to be a win, right? That movie has to be super, super successful at the box office. Otherwise, Star Wars is very, very much in trouble in theaters, at least. Um, so I don't know how are we feeling about Tron? I haven't even thought about it. I kind of like the last one. It was cool, but you know, it was um, it was a long time, between those two movies for sure. Um, so I'm not sure what the added or what the new big bad is going to be on this new Tron. I'm sure it's going to look amazing. Like visually, it's going to look great, right? But yeah, in terms of the story, I'm not too sure. Mufasa looks interesting. I might watch it with the kid. Not sure. I saw a trailer of for it over the weekend. Oh, by the way, so we watched The Wild Robot. I do recommend it, but it's probably gonna make you cry. Okay, it's a pretty good movie. Way better than I initially thought. Mark Hamill is in it. Very little, but he's in it. Well, his voice, right? He's doing voice for one of the characters. Um, Lupita Nyong'o, right, is the main voice for the main character. I mean, and it was pretty good. Story is good. The visuals are great. It is. I wouldn't say it's revolutionary in the sense of like the story, right? I think everybody here knows what happens on the movie, but the way they do it is pretty good. So I do recommend it. But like I said, just be ready, especially those of us that are parents. Yeah, it hits you pretty good. All right, so just be warned. Like I said, good movie. Just be prepared to more than likely cry. So yeah, it's we got some good projects coming out of Disney, so we'll see how much D23 actually delivers, right? Well, D23 Brazil, sorry. How much it actually delivers. I kind of want to see when it is, though. Do we have a date? mm, I don't know. Brazil 2024. Let's see. Oh yeah, November 8, 9, and 10. So yeah, pretty much this weekend. So we'll see. We'll see in a couple of days if something starts popping out. Probably Saturday, I would say, is when we're gonna get most of the news, coming out of D23 Brazil. We got LGP Vintage Toys. What's going on, brother? Thanks so much for joining, man. It's greeting masters. Williams Goat. Yeah, man, absolutely. That, like I said, pretty good documentary. I do recommend it. Do watch it. I did have a couple of minor grabs with it, but overall, it's a good documentary. I like that he's getting that kind of recognition, right? He should always get that kind of recognition. Hey, what's going on, brother? Coming soon podcast in the house. I'm not crying, you're crying, bro. Seriously, I was so I went with the family, right? And it's me and and the my wife and the kid is like jumping over, between his seat and my wife's seat, like. So anyway, we're watching the movie, and I'm like, man, I'm kind of getting a little bit choked up here, like I'm kind of starting to hit me, where I live, and I look over, and to my family, and both my wife and my kid, they're just bawling, dude. Like they're just. I was like, all right, it's not just me then. But it's a good movie. I definitely do recommend it. Like I said, it will make you feel. It will make you feel for sure. I think they did a great job. Kind of the way they handle the story right. Again, nothing too crazy in terms of the story, but it's done very well. um I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. And like I said, added bonus, Mark Hamill does play one of the characters, so it was always great, hearing his voice. Cheers. Delicious. So yeah. Hey, Mario, anything you're working on? Drop it here in the chat. Let me know what's the next project for you. Um, but yeah, so we will be on the lookout this weekend, to see what D23 Brazil spits out in terms of Star Wars, in terms of everything, of course. Marvel. It's going to be a good. It looks like a good lineup, with Fantastic Four, Captain America 4, and Daredevil. Star Wars, Andor, and the Mandu movie. It's also going to be, definitely gonna be highlights. So we'll be reporting on all of those probably by our next show, here on General Canoe's Bunker on the next High Ground. Guys, we're getting we're getting pretty close to episode 90 of the High Ground, which is kind of crazy. So if everything works out, I think let me see, let me check the calendar here. Yeah, so episode 90 should be the week before Thanksgiving. So I don't know. I'm feeling festive, right? I'm kind of thinking maybe like an open mic night, if anybody wants to jump on, stuff like that. But be on the lookout on our socials. We'll decide how that's gonna be out. And speaking of our socials, we would greatly appreciate it if you check us out over on Facebook, General Kenobi's Bunker, over on Instagram, general.kenobis.bunker, TikTok at general_Kenobis_bunker, and on threads at general.kenobis.bunker. Also, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you check out Mike, our good friend, the Dad Vader, over on Instagram with the name the Dad Vader. That's right, all one word. So he is actually, well, I don't want to promise anything, but I'm hoping he can actually make a comeback here pretty soon into the show. He misses all you guys, and he's been itching to come back. Some stuff in his life, needed to get a little bit more situated, but it looks like it's all falling into place. So make sure that you follow him, on Instagram so that you don't miss out any updates from them. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you leave us your at the stream to let the mythical YouTube algorithm know that we are doing good. We're doing a fun show. And even though we're getting close to episode 90, you guys are still enjoying it, which is crazy. And I appreciate each and every single one of you. So once again, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you haven't, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. If this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. I hope that you like the show, and I hope that you stick around and check out the rest of the channel where we do a bunch of toy reviews, trailer reactions, toy hunts. We talk about lore. We obviously go live here, and we just enjoy Star Wars in general and toys as well. So I would greatly appreciate it if you do that for us. Let me catch up here with the last comments. Says Janine says, "Hi Pop. Coming to podcast says drop two audio clips for two indie films, and I play a zombie for local zombie film soon. Got my limbs so using it for a film. Nice, dude. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I saw. Didn't you post an image with you in makeup already? Maybe I'm thinking about something else, but I could have sworn that I saw you on makeup or with makeup. Sorry, for that zombie film. So yeah, man, congrats. That's awesome. So guys, make sure that you check out Coming Soon podcast here on YouTube, on Facebook, which is his user right there, and also on Instagram. Local guy, great guy. He does a ton of work, especially in the horror community. So if you guys are, into indie films, into horror films, horror conventions, he helps out a lot in the local shows as well. So make sure that you're checking him out. Great guy. And man, we haven't seen each other in a little bit, right? We haven't coincided at the same event. So I hope to see you soon, man, because I know you've been doing a ton of work, and I love seeing you always active, at those shows. Okay, so I think that is gonna do it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Bunker Bunch. I always appreciate you guys coming in, you know, being in the chat, just watching, listening, especially you guys on the rewatch. Really appreciate you too. So thank you for checking us out even after the stream has ended. So once again, make sure that you stay tuned on our social medias. We'll see what we do for episode 90. We got a couple weeks to figure it out, but I definitely want to do something. Um, so once again, thank you so much for checking us out. I hope that you guys are having a great week. Uh, I hope that you have an even better second half of the week and weekend, right? Let's stay tuned. Let's see what D23 Brazil brings our way. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how much of like exclusive content they actually get. Yeah, also for those of you that were, I forgot to mention this earlier, for those of you who backed the ghost, make sure that you update or double check your payment method and delivery address, because they're getting ready to ship next month. I think you have a month left to sort of double check your order details within Hasbro Pulse. So make sure you do that. Don't procrastinate, because it would suck if it gets sent to the wrong address, or if your card is declined or something like that. You guys have been waiting for that for over a year, and then if it gets even further late, I would say try to avoid that. So you still got some time. Oh, who do we have here? Yo, nerd affiliated in the house. What's going on, Archer? Appreciate you coming in, man. Saying late, but just in time to say General Kenobi. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Um, dude, so I saw you streaming your game the other night, and I typed hello there, and then I guess I didn't hit send, and then I was doing something else. I was listening to you in the background, and I came back. I'm like, oh, this dude never acknowledged me, and then I looked down, and like the comment was still on the right section, like it never actually left, like it never made it into the chat. And then I just honestly felt too embarrassed and I stopped. But yeah, I saw you're getting situated in your new place. So congrats on that. Nerdflint says, if they do to you ghost people why they're doing what they're doing to us busters, they'll remind you about your shipping bunch of times, taunting you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, I can't wait to get your HasLab as well. Um, okay, so again, that is gonna do it for episode 88 of the High Ground. Stay tuned. Let's see what we do for episode 90. All right, let's start thinking of some ideas. If you guys have some ideas, like I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking open mic for that night. I'm thinking maybe a giveaway or two, because I don't think there's enough time to make it to episode 100. Within the year. I mean, I'm not a mathematician or anything, but there's not 10 weeks in a month. So yeah. um yeah, we'll do something special for episode 90. Once again, stay tuned on all over our social media. um Archer Saints is like, I felt you were there through the force. Yeah, dude, again, not one of my proudest moments. But once again, thank you everybody. Thank you, Bunker Bunch. I really appreciate you. Stay safe out there. Have fun. Enjoy the cooler weather. Again, especially for those of us down here in Texas, it's finally kicking in, man. It took its sweet time. Okay, so yeah, go watch that documentary on John Williams. Like I said, it's definitely interesting. The man is a freaking legend. Uh, Most important composer in our generation for sure. Well, all right then. I'll catch you guys later, and may the force be with you. Good night, y'all.